The Golden Globes, Best Picture Drama. Mad Max Fury Road, Room, Spotlight, The Revenant, and Carol. Do you see that all 5 of these will be nominated for Oscars for Best Picture?
I see it. I sort of do see it. Sort of. I don't know about Room. I'm not sure Room.
I'm not sure about that either, and I'm not totally sure about Mad Max Fury Road. I could easily see the morning of the Oscars coming by, and people are really invested in this movie as a sort of a breakthrough movie for the Academy to finally recognize this particular genre in the Best Picture race, and so people are very, very into it. However, I could easily see the morning of the Oscars where it's not listed as Best Picture nominee. Maybe as a director, and certainly a lot of technical awards, but I could just hear people screaming now.
Let me. No. I'm not, because I don't. I think its grandest accomplishment is George Miller was able to make this movie and make it just as well as he made the Road Warrior. I think and there's something to be said for that. I also think this is a great argument to make it to 70, because if you can do this kind of work at 70, like Martin Scorsese with Wolf of Wall Street, I don't, this is an accomplishment.
And this was ridiculously more physical than that.
Yeah,
so,
I know. Yeah.
I mean,
let me say this. I don't see. I would be shocked if this got in. Is it still 10 pictures? Are we still at the 10 picture thing?
Yeah.
Well, nominally. I mean,
okay. Don't you see Star Wars taking this spot?
No, I see Mad Max getting in. I don't see.
You do?
Before Star Wars.
I would love to see it get it, but I'm just, if George Miller gets
before Star Wars, but are they really going to nominate? I mean, here's another thing that, well, I mean, even though The Martian is nominated for some Golden Globes, it got totally shut out of the SAG Awards, which was another sort of surprise for a lot of people, because at least people thought that Matt Damon would get in. But here's a movie that a lot of people have been positing as not only a nominee, The Martian, but also maybe the ultimate winner. And
that's possible.
But it feels like a little bit of steam has been let out of that narrative.
Hey, Dean, last week you said that it was going to win Best Picture.
I did say that, and I said it against my what I really want to happen. I just feel like this year.
Well, we never get what we really want.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's another.
I don't know. Sometimes I do. I really wanted 12 Years a Slave to win, and it win. So, but
we also forget. Maybe Jurassic World, but we're forgetting Creed. Creed could get in there for best, and that's not in either Best Picture category. Creed, I would think has a very strong.
But it's also been dealt some blows this week, because it's hardly represented in the.
But it gets back up. It's not a blow. How you fall?
Okay, so what's nominated in the listen to these great comedies, folks, that are nominated for.
There's like only really 2 comedies in here.
Yeah.
Joy, which nobody likes.
Joyless.
It's giving no one joy.
I'm waiting for that headline. Joyless.
It'll come.
Yeah.
It'll come. Spy.
Which I love that they remembered Spy, because that really is probably the best comedy of the year.
I think so too. The Big Short, The Martian, that musical comedy, The Martian. Yeah. What the hell?
Don't you remember that scene where Matt Damon breaks out into song? Well, there were a lot of songs in it, so.
Wow. You know what it is? They wanted to nominate The Martian, but they didn't want to leave any of the 5 drama things off, so they just said, "Oh, well, there's a couple of laughs in The Martian. Let's put it in there."
I would put it over a room. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah. Trainwreck,
Yeah, no,
so Marshall.
I mean, I have no problem with that being in there, but there is a movie
Train wreck
missing.
was inevitable. Yeah.
Yeah, there is a movie missing though. Even though no one has seen it, I mean, a lot of people thought Sisters would be in this category. Thought it was a given
because of Polar and
yeah.
Faye.
I mean, everyone thought, and they were. I read something. Anything that they were involved in this year completely just left out. I mean.
Yeah. I mean, it hasn't been a great year for comedy. I mean, Spy is the only. I guess the closest thing in my, top 25 movies is Tangerine, maybe, but they didn't remember that either. So
anyway, I think Spotlight will win drama. I think Martian will win musical or comedy.
Yeah,
I see that definitely.
That's basically true. Yeah.
Hey, just agree with me the rest of the show. Best performance, and it'll go a lot faster. Best performance by an actress in a drama, Saoirse Ronan for Brooklyn, Cate Blanchett for Carol, Rooney Mara for Carol. They nominated them both in the same category.
Which is right and correct, right? I mean, they both are leads.
I think it is correct, but I don't think it's going to be what the Oscars do. Brie Larson for Room and Alicia Vikander for The Danish Girl. Personally,
also
I think
in a lead rather than supporting. They're trying to do that supporting thing for her in the Oscars as well. So category fraud is what basically what it is.
Personally, I think
Rooney Mara should end.
Rooney Mara deserves it more than anyone, I think. But there's been so much press on, as unfair as you might think it is, Dean. There's been so much press on Brie Larson for this particular movie.
Yeah. I think she's going to win it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Which honestly, after you see Carol, that will piss you off if anyone other than Rooney Mara wins that award.
Well, I mean, I'm really disappointed that in the SAGs and the Golden Globes that there was no mention of Charlotte Rampling. So
right.
Yeah, no, that's a big omission.
In fact, we all thought, it might be the old lady award, slot might go to her, or it might go to Lily Tomlin for Grandma, or Maggie Smith and Lady in the Van, and instead it went to Helen Mirren.
Or Helen Mirren or Blythe Danner for there was
Blythe Danner as well for See You in My Dreams.
This really leaves leaves everyone that we thought out. I mean, completely throws them under the bus. I mean, or under the van. I mean, but
it was a bad year for a bad week for Oscar prognosticators who really threw up their hands and said, I guess we don't know anything. So why are we getting paid?
Yeah. But, I always knew they never knew anything. Best performance by an actor in a drama, Will Smith for Concussion. He's been out there. Michael Fassbender for Steve Jobs, Eddie Redmayne for Danish Girl, Leonardo DiCaprio for Revenant, Bryan Cranston for Trumbo. Will Cranston get an Oscar nomination?
It's possible.
I mean, it's definitely possible now, but boy, I'm surprised I'm just so surprised at the Trumbo surge, which just goes to show you. I mean, they just love movies about Hollywood. They just do, and so it's. I mean, I was thinking that it was going to be DiCaprio, Fassbender, Smith, and
Depp.
I was thinking Damon was going to get in there, just goodwill.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. Or
because as much as I didn't like that movie, I thought that Damon was superb in it. And, so.
Depp, Damon, DiCaprio. What other D actors do we have?
And Depp.
I'm thinking if I would say I haven't seen Concussion yet, but I would have to say right now, just judging the nominees, I would say this is really between Fassbender and DiCaprio. Well, I haven't seen the DiCaprio movie either, but I'd say it's between the two of them.
I just think that DiCaprio's going to win Best Actor because they're just ready to give it to him. It's just they just don't want to see the headlines the next day where people are screaming about.
There's also this.
Leo,
you know how they get at the Emmys, they give the award to the same damn show and actors every single year, to the point where the actors themselves are like, could you kind of spread the wealth a little bit? I think the Globes are like that with Bryan Cranston. I mean, for Breaking Bad, they love, they nominate him every single year. He won 3 or 4 times, I'm sure. So maybe it's that. Maybe that won't translate to Oscar. I don't know.
I think I find it difficult to believe that Cranston's going to get into the actor race. It just seems too packed already without really considering him as a possibility. So best performance by an actress, musical or comedy. This is where Lily Tomlin did get in. Jennifer Lawrence got in for Joy. This is an incredibly hot photo of Jennifer Lawrence in this Golden Globe stage.
You're looking at the same thing I'm looking at. Okay, all right.
Good Lord. Hang on, give me about 2 minutes. Okay, I'm done. Melissa McCarthy for Spy, Maggie Smith for The Lady in the Van, and Amy Schumer for Trainwreck. You know what? I think Amy Schumer will win.
Amy Schumer. She's the girl
in
of the
this
moment.
category, definitely. I think
the
you guys
Globes?
are right.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. That's who's going to win.
Best performance by an actor in a motion picture, musical or comedy. Look at this, Mr.
I know.
Pacino.
It kind of looks like
this is a crazy category.
He looks like Bruce Springsteen in that photo, kind of.
Danny Collins. I can't be sad about that. Come on, you can't ask me to be sad
and
about that.
he was fine in the movie. He was good in it. So.
Of the movies that he's made recently, I would have to say I think that's his best performance.
He's very appealing in that movie. Mark Ruffalo for Infinitely Polar Bear.
Huge surprise there.
Yeah,
that is.
I would not be surprised if he got nominated for supporting actor for Spotlight, but Christian Bale for The Big Short, Steve Carell for The Big Short, Matt Damon for The Martian.
So interesting. Christian Bale gets in for lead here, but gets in for supporting in the SAG Awards. Right.
And the picture on the website here of Christian Bale, it looks like he's about to kill someone. I mean,
I don't know. I'm still looking at Jennifer Lawrence. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
You know what, Steve? It'll be Matt Damon. Right?
Yeah. Right. No question about it.
Gosh, you guys are in such agreement with me tonight.
Dude, I'm not arguing. I'm not arguing with you. I think we're all on the same page here. But this could all change come the Oscar nominations. So, I mean,
oh yeah. The best supporting actress: Kate Winslet, Steve Jobs, Jennifer Jason Leigh, Hateful Eight, Helen Mirren, Trumbo. So both awards. Wow. Nominated her for that. Jane Fonda for Youth, and Alicia Vikander for Ex Machina.
Yeah.
Now that's creative and nice. This is a hard category to pick, but is it just time to give Jennifer Jason Leigh some kind of recognition for? I mean, not just for this performance, but for her career. I mean, she's never gotten a single Oscar nomination. And in fact, I think this might even be one of her first Golden Globe nominations. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's a career thing. But from what I hear, she's superb in the movie. But it's a body. There's a body of work there that's just incredible. And let's not forget, she co-directed a movie, The Anniversary Party, that was very good. Many years ago.
And she co-wrote Greenberg.
Yeah, she deserves. It's so good to see that Tarantino is using her, because I think she's a great actress.
Well, you know what? Tarantino's actors have had some luck.
Yeah, they have.
I think she's the most deserving, but I can also see them thinking, by voting somebody like Alicia Vikander, thinking, man, won't this mean a lot to her to be the winner among these 4 veterans? Won't that be a great thing?
And we should also remember that as far as the Oscars go, at least, they always do like to give the award to an ingenue, to a young actress. I mean, that category skews young, more than any other.
That's a good point, Dean. It's true in TV, especially TV. If you're the newest show, they give it to you. If you're anything in TV, you notice they always go to the newest thing 9 times out of 10. So I agree with you.
So
I think
I would say the safe bet, though, is Jennifer Jason Leigh. But this being the Globes, I could see them giving it to Ex Machina.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Best
they
performance by
occasionally.
Supporting actor. Now, this category looks perfect to me, the way it's represented here. Michael Shannon in 99 Homes, Idris Elba in Beasts of No Nation, Mark Rylance in Bridge of Spies, Sylvester Stallone in Creed, and Paul Dano for Love and Mercy. I think that's a solid category.
That's just about perfect. I mean, I wish that there was room for Benicio del Toro. That's about the only, or Jason Segel. So I mean,
no, definitely. Let me say something about Best Actress, though. I think Emily Blunt is very deserving, and she's not going to get anything, but she deserves for Sicario. We're talking about Benicio del Toro, and he's superb in the movie. But Emily Blunt is awesome in Sicario. There's no doubt about that. But she has got. There was talk early on that she would get it. But she's been completely left out of this whole.
Well, it's a passive character, and I think that's something that might be hurting her chances. So
let me throw in a dark horse for this category, the supporting actor category. There has been talk, although I find it very unlikely right now. What
you said last week, Harrison Ford.
Ford would. He might. It depends. It depends greatly.
Yeah.
But
that's not going to happen. I think Stallone's going to win.
Stallone's going to win. He's going to win here, and he's going to win the Oscar. And I don't care what the SAG Awards have to say about it. He's going to win.
He deserves it. It's a great performance of a great character that he created. So he deserves it.
It's just too magical a possibility.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Best Director Motion Picture: Todd Haynes, George Miller. Or Todd Haynes for Carol, George Miller for Mad Max, Tom McCarthy for Spotlight, Ridley Scott for The Martian, Alejandro Iñárritu for The Revenant. This might be the Oscar category too.
Mm-hmm. And this really it's the director category that really underlines I think that what's going to happen here and at the Oscars is that Spotlight is not going to win Best Director.
Right.
Because of its sort of muted visual tones. I just don't see that happening, especially when you have veterans like Miller and Scott in there who do
and Haynes.
Great
Haynes
visual.
Is a veteran.
And Haynes. But Eddie and Narita, they're all 4 are visually much more dynamic than Spotlight, and I think the director usually goes to somebody who's doing considerable visual pyrotechnics on screen. So with that, I really think that they're probably going to give it to Ridley Scott. As kind of a career award, and I could easily see that happening at the Oscars too.
Even though you know what they're doing, they're campaigning hard for Todd Haynes, and they even gave to woo voters, and they even gave that campaign a tagline of "Where do we get our Haynes on you?" And so I think that might work.
Let me ask you guys this: do you think Tarantino gets it at all?
Tarantino as a possible, it's possible.
Let's not rule that out.
It would it be a surprise if Tom McCarthy doesn't get in there at all in the Oscars?
let me ask you this: is Spielberg too far off for Bridge of Spies? Because it's one of his best films of recent. I mean, I would hate to see that. I mean, he should get some recognition. It's a great film from him. I mean,
I'd be slightly surprised if the Oscar nominees differ from these.
Okay.
For Best Director.
All right.
Yeah, I don't think Spielberg's going to get in, and it might be a case where Bridge of Spies might get a Best Picture nomination, but it's seeming less and less likely.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
Yeah.
Best Screenplay. They don't separate them between original and adapted at the Globes, do they?
No,
I don't think they do. Best
No, they don't. No, they don't.
Emma Donahue for Room, Tom McCarthy and Josh Singer for Spotlight, Aaron Sorkin for Steve Jobs, Charles Randolph and Adam McKay for The Big Short, Quentin Tarantino for The Hateful Eight. Oh, man. You know what? Tarantino's favorite screenwriter is Aaron Sorkin. This is an exciting category.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it is, yeah.
They love giving Tarantino awards at the Globes, so I wouldn't be surprised if that happens again. But let's see, what are the movies nominated again? It's Room,
Spotlight, Steve Jobs, The
Spotlight.
Big Short, and The Hateful Eight. I'd give it to Steve Jobs. Of what I've seen so far, I would give it to Steve Jobs.
I think they're going to give it to Spotlight.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't think that's going to, and I think that's the front runner for the original. That's an original screenplay, so I think that's the front runner for the original screenplay Oscar.
Right.
So
He didn't base it on a book?
Nope.
Okay, hang on. Best Animated. Inside Out. Shaun the Sheep movie. Okay. I guess
couldn't they have just called it Shaun the Sheep instead of calling it the Shaun the Sheep movie?
We know it's a movie. We know it's
a movie. We already
Yeah.
know it's a movie. Just call it Shaun the Sheep.
Well, I mean, they're not going to nominate Shaun the Sheep breakfast cereal. Yeah, so.
Right.
That's true. That's a good point, Jamie. I never thought of it.
But the Peanuts movie too.
That's true.
Well,
yeah.
That's kind of dumb too, but they should have just called it Peanuts if they were just, But anyway,
the Good Dinosaur
Peanuts movie is nominated.
Anomalisa,
right?
I think it's between the first and the last, Inside Out and Anomalisa. Personally, I mean,
I think it's Inside Out, like hands down.
Yeah,
but I mean, Inside Out is one of the best films of the year. I mean,
yeah, and I mean, I'm sure Anomalisa is going to be great. And I have a feeling for the Oscars. I think that movie that's the adaptation of The Prophet. I think that's going to get in.
That might. You're right.
Over Shaun the
like
Sheep
movie.
Over Shaun the Sheep or The Good Dinosaur. I mean, or even over Peanuts, maybe. But I mean,
yeah. I mean, The Good Dinosaur has not performed well, and
so we all predict that Inside Out movie will be the winner.
Yeah.
Which I finally saw that this weekend, and I really liked it.
Good movie. Great movie.
As opposed as I am to kids' movies. Best foreign language film.
That's an extremely mature kids' movie. So, I mean,
it really is. It really is, and I'm thinking, I bet this movie means a lot more to adults than it does kids. Like, it felt really kind of ballsy.
Yeah.
Even though it's full of great colors for the kids, I don't know what the hell a kid does. I don't know anything about.
I didn't feel like they were pandering at all to kids. I
really felt like
I really felt like they said, okay, they're going to be with us, and we're just going to take them someplace that they've never been before, and do it in a different way. I didn't feel that it was too chasey or too ADD or anything. I think I really felt like
exactly what the girl I give $20 to every week says to me. Just sit back. I'm going to take you someplace you've never been before. Best foreign language film, and kids don't get that either. So it's strictly for adults. Mustang, is really a front runner alongside Son of Saul, the other nominee. I think it's between the two of them. The Brand New Testament from Belgium, France, and Luxembourg. The Club from Chile. The Fencer from Finland, Germany, and Estonia. I think this category is going to look much different at the Oscars. But
I think the first two.
Both occasions, I think it's going to go to Son of Saul.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so too.
I agree.
Best original score. Going back to that $20. Carter Burwell for Carol. Daniel Pemberton for Steve Jobs. Alexander Desplat for The Danish Girl. And Ennio Morricone for The Hateful Eight. And Ryoichi Sakamoto for The Revenant. The Revenant score is very repetitive, but it's beautiful. And actually, he composed my favorite score ever, which is, I think he did it, which is The Sheltering Sky. So, I don't know. I think Morricone. I think it's going to win.
I can see the the Globes going for that. They don't correlate. This category doesn't really correlate with the Oscars very often. But I could see them going with the star power of Ennio Morricone over anybody else. But that said, I really hope that they, with the Oscars, they take a look at that great score from Creed or Johan Johansson's score from Sicario, which I thought was
That's
brilliant.
A great score. That's a very good score.
And maybe even Michael Giacchino, is that his name, for Inside Out, or yeah. So
I don't think that the Oscars nominations are going to look much different from this, because I do think Carter Burwell will be nominated. I do think They Love to Splat,
which would be his first nomination, by the way. That's pretty crazy that Burwell
is.
Wow.
Daniel Pemberton is a great nomination.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
I thought that the Steve Jobs score was notably notable, and that was maybe one of the big surprises of the morning was that they remembered it. So, but that John Williams is going to get in the Oscars for Star Wars.
We don't know that. We honestly don't. Let's be honest. We do not know that yet. He didn't get in for any of the prequels. I don't think any. Remember, if you look at the prequels, and I know this, the Phantom Menace got 3. I think Attack of the Clones got 1, and Revenge of the Sith got 1 nomination. They were not, they were not, and it was, and a lot of people did think that John Williams would get in there. Not. So don't count on that. That's not a given right now.
Well, I'll tell you one thing is that I'll know because I'm seeing the movie, just to let people know I'm seeing Star Wars on Tuesday morning. So
just let me know.
I'm pretty excited.
Just let me know if Admiral Akbar's in it, so I can
so
I can dress accordingly on Thursday. So
but I would bet that a lot of this score is going to be very new. Like, I know that they're going to reference other themes that have been in the movies previous. But I would think that they would branch out. That Williams will.
Well,
branch
let
out.
Let me back you up on that. If you watch it, and this is something I know because. A lot of people are watching, getting preparation for this movie, watching all the old ones again. I don't need to do that. I've watched these movies too many times, even the crappy prequels too many times. I don't need to watch any of this again. But I will see.
You've got them committed to memory.
Yeah, I know. And it's really, I would like to watch them again, but I'd fall asleep probably because I've seen them so many times. It's like, I know them like the back of my hand. But if you listen to the soundtrack for Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones, there's a lot of new music on there, and especially in Attack of the Clones, any kind of original Star Wars music doesn't even happen until the 2-hour mark during the battle where you send in the clone troopers and everything. You don't even get anything that resembles that. It's only in Revenge of the Sith because you finally have characters from the original trilogy appear that you can use those motifs and everything. So I think this one might have some of the original music because you're going to have to when some of these original characters show up, their cues and everything, play that music. But I would imagine you're right. I would say 75% new music at least.
I would think so. I mean, because they're going to have completely new characters for the most part. I mean, of course, when the old characters come in, there's going to be references to the old score. Right. But with the new characters, they're going to have to find new themes. They can't just fall back on the whole Luke Skywalker theme or whatever.
Especially since he's supposedly not even in this for a good chunk of it. So
is there a song category for?
Yes, there is. Once you guys get done talking about Star Wars, I'll tell you.
I'm sorry. God forbid. It's something I'm good at.
Best original song. It doesn't have the artists listed here. Some of them you already know. "Love Me Like You Do" from 50 Shades of Grey. Love Me Like You Do. "See You Again" from Furious 7.
Which is probably the ultimate winner here and at the Oscars. Let's just put
"See You Again."
Yeah.
Really?
Well, it just got nominated also for it's a tremendous, huge hit song.
Right, no, it is. Okay, well,
and it just got nominated for Record of the Year for the Grammys.
Well, smack my ass and call me Charlie. I did not know. Okay.
Record of the Year and Song of the Year. So.
"One Kind of Love" for Love and Mercy. "Writings on the Wall" from Spectre.
No, this cannot be nominated.
That is so sad.
And "Simple Song Number 3" from Youth.
That'll get in there.
I would go with that. I could go. That should definitely be in there. And I think "Love and Mercy." I'm glad something from there is in there. So.
I'm hoping that they nominate.
Personally, I just got to tell you. I think 50 Shades of Grey has it tied up.
Really?
That's so funny. Yeah, he's here every night, folks. He's here every night.
I would like some of the songs. Creed has a number of really good songs in it.
Yeah.
And I really like that "I'll See You in My Dreams" song that Martin Starr sings in that film.
Right, so. There are a couple of good choices. I mean, I can't believe you're going to pick one of the worst Bond songs in recent memory.
And also they left behind that song that Lady Gaga and Diane Warren did for the documentary for The Hunting Ground, which I'm sure will be in the Oscar category. Particularly since they can't have the Brian Wilson song now. So.
Well,
but I'm going with Furious 7 for best song. Believe it or not.
Okay, I mean there are worse songs.
Hey, here's another.
It's good song.
Here's another question. Looking at what was the big controversy of the Oscars last year? That none of the major nominees were of color.
Right.
Other than Idris Elba for Beasts of No Nation, don't they have the same problem this year?
So far, oh God!
If they, not that they don't have a lot to choose from. They have, the guy that played Eazy-E in Compton. They have, Michael B. Jordan and Tessa Thompson and Creed. They have, they have the lead, what's his name, Abraham Atta for Beasts of No Nation.
Yeah.
By the way, Beasts of No Nation.
They have Will Smith here too, though, Jamie. They do have
and Will Smith.
Well, in the Globes, but I don't think he's a guarantee by any means for Oscar.
I don't think so either. I don't think so. There are a lot of great performances you can pick, though. Michael B. Jordan should definitely get something. Tessa Thompson too. I agree with. And Straight Outta Compton, and it's not. I know, unfortunately, the Oscars aren't that creative, but I would love to see Straight Outta Compton get some nominations. Really.
Are there any original songs in that movie?
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. That's
no, there aren't.
I don't think so. I looked at the list of the 71 or 74 songs that are being considered for the Song Oscar, and that wasn't part of it. And fully, by the way, 10 to 15 of those songs came from Bollywood movies.